What is up, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Only on YouTube, DLive, Twitch, Twitter, wherever we're at, we're going to be covering Wuhan and the recent changes with the WHO and the rest of the world. Meetings of Cobra in the UK. We'll be right back after this to let you know all of the latest updates on this very scary event. And just so you know, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else that helps the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. All right, now we are ready. There is definitely a lot going on. If you've never been here before, my name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. This is a live show, and it is a call-in. So you can call in at 224-400-MARF, which will be scrolling along the black line along the bottom, and you will actually get a hold of Dex. Dex is my co-host / producer. He will end up taking any information that you have, any kind of articles, pictures, videos you want to share with the rest of the audience, and he will end up putting that to a dedicated screen to my left so then I can share it with you guys. Dex, let's just do a quick sound check real quick because we've got a lot of news to cover.
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
And just to let you guys know, everything we're going to be covering, we back up. We actually put it into writing on our website, where we get it, our sources, everything. You can go to marfooglenews.com, and once you get there, you'll understand that we actually take a lot of time to put these shows together. Any show that you are watching live ends up taking anywhere from 8 to 12 hours per day. So once you get to our website, it will actually first ask you to allow or block notifications from us. The notifications are purely for when we go live. So it will only send you a notification when we add something to the website as far as a video. Otherwise, the only other thing it will notify you of is if we post an article. Some people say that we just read other articles. We actually are working on a system on top of the articles we've previously done, but having multiple authors post to our website. That's something that we want to implement soon. So once you click on this thumbnail, then you will get to the next page, which actually has each and every link that we have actually shown you. And just to show you one more time, down here is every tweet, every video, every article that you can go back a year down the road and actually look at this to see where we got it. So we don't just say something and then say, yeah, someone said it. We actually let you know where we got it, and we allow you to go and see for yourself. So how's that for fake news? Okay, so with that being said, we're going to get started. There's tons of news here. Again, you can go with a second device and read along on marfooglenews.com. We are on DLive and on YouTube. DLive, you guys are live. I want to thank you guys for all showing up, for all being here. I appreciate you. Again, you will end up being shouted out at the end. And then YouTube, if you are watching this, this is a replay. Obviously, we had somewhat of a slight setback that is preventing us for 90 days going live on YouTube. So therefore, we came over here. I think that this will actually be a permanent staple. Even when we do get our rights back, we are probably going to be staying here for other things, because I absolutely love the people over here. I love the streamers. If you haven't gave it a chance, I would definitely suggest it, just because there literally is really good people over here. So that being said, YouTube, anything that you might put, if you do super chat, if you do feel like supporting, you may. It is not required. It will be shouted out on the next show, whatever that may be, and your message will be put on the ticker. So if you want to shout somebody out, you can do that with as little as $2, I believe. Okay, now let's see here. We're going to get into these stories, and man, This is a lot of stuff. We called this, we told you guys, and everybody said that we were, fear porn this, fear porn that. We have made sure to give you correct information and to question some of the outside outliers, like Dex. In fact, Dex, let me pull you in for a second. You actually attended as press at the conference call for the CDC thing, and we actually reported that real time before MSM even covered it. Is that correct?
Yes, I was there, Adam. I had joined in on the conference briefing. This was not today. It was yesterday when they announced the first human to human, and it would be the second and now second person in Chicago, now sixth person in the U.S. Although I think they may have confirmed some more since then.
So
but yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah, and then we ended up getting a community post with that information out and tweeting that out before anyone else. I mean, we're not even trying to beat YouTubers here. We were beating MSM. So with that being said, we actually he clipped all of the clips of the actual people from CDC, so no one can say that we did not put the accurate information from them as well. On top of that, there's a lot of people that have theories, including the Chinese people. We will go over that later, and we will give you guys a chance to let us know what you think. Again, the number is 2244000MARF, and you will be pressing option 4 once you get to our phone tree. Now, this is the article actually explaining what they were talking about yesterday. It says, first human-to-human transmission of coronavirus in U.S. documented in Illinois. Now, of course, this was the older lady from Chicago, and they said that it was to her husband, and they said because he was spending a lot of time with her. Now, there is something going around saying that you basically can't get this thing unless you're around. I've heard people say, oh no, you can only get it if you're, around this person for half an hour or 30 minutes or more. That's completely and utterly just hogwash. I mean, I don't even know where people got that. If you think that, it's, no offense, but that is a myth. You could be coughed on once. You could be sneezed around once. I mean, like, this is just like a cold. There's no time limit. It doesn't absorb or something, and then if you walk away after 15 minutes, it's not going to soak in. No, one little particle that goes into your, the side of your eye or your nose, or you breathe it in, that very well could actually transfer it. So this whole 30 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever is going around, it's basically hogwash. And that is coming from every source. It doesn't matter. There's no debate about that. As far as the different masks that people are wearing, they're actually telling people not to wear them. It's even spurred people to go on Twitter, and I've seen people respond to me saying, no, you got to watch this video. He's saying don't wear a mask. And I say there's nothing wrong with a mask. There's the only thing that's wrong with the mask is possibly the embarrassment of wearing one when no one else is, or the... They say that people get too comfortable and then they end up like just touching everything like a 3-year-old, just learning how to walk. I don't understand that, but that's their opinion. Now, as far as being too willy-nilly once you have a mask on, I don't know what that's about. One thing you have to be careful about is this is something that can be transferred from a railing, a door, anything, a doorknob. This is something that can actually sit and live on a surface. So touching your face, doing things like this, something that I have a problem with myself, that's something that you actually have to think about, and we don't ever. So if you're out in public, if you're at home, obviously, Wuhan virus isn't just going to fly into your house. But if you've been in a public place, public transportation, subways, planes, trains, that's where you got to start to worry about it. I'm not saying wear a mask at home for 6 days straight. No, I'm saying, if you want to wear a mask, you shouldn't be punished for it. We actually had tweets, which we didn't load up. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll see that there was a woman who works in a lab, and actually they are getting in trouble and getting investigated for wearing an N95 mask at work. Now, she's in a medical environment. There should be no problem with that. In fact, my advice and a bunch of others said you should be talking to a lawyer, because they are actually investigating her and making her feel bad because they say it scares the patients. It is her body, it's her health, and she's around things that possibly could come out. What do you guys think? I would love to hear your opinion. The number is 2244000MARF. Personally, it's up to you. It's like If there's no rule against it, then what is the big deal? It's kind of like having tattoos at work or something. If you can have tattoos, what's wrong with the mask? I get that they don't want to panic others, but that shouldn't be something you can actually get punished for. It could be something that you get kind of a talk and go, hey, is there any way we can, not have you wear that, or, figure out something, have you do a job where you're not around people, maybe something like that. Not a full-fledged investigation. That's just wrong in my opinion, but you can give me yours. Again at 224-400-MARF. It says the first human-to-human transmission of coronavirus in the United States has been documented in Illinois. The woman who contracted coronavirus last week transmitted the virus to her husband, officials of the CDC said. It says the 61-year-old woman is being treated in isolation to control infection at St. Alexis Hospital in Hoffman Estates. She returned from Wuhan, China in mid-January. Wuhan is the epicenter of the virus, which has sickened nearly 8,000 people and killed at least 170. Now, of course, this was from yesterday. That has gone up. All of these numbers have gone up. Another thing is when they say epicenter. What was really weird, Dex, and I don't know if you caught this, but one of the last statements by one of the WHO people said that, that Wuhan was an epicenter and other epicenters such as Chicago. So they actually, the wording he used was kind of like, he actually said, and whatever epicenters after that. So like London or in the UK, wherever that first one hit, is now being called an epicenter. Hopefully not.
Yeah, maybe that's anywhere, because I think there was like 9 different person-to-person transfers that they've documented. So maybe that's what they're doing, is they're calling an epicenter a location where there's a human-to-human transfer.
It's all about the wording, and I understand that too. So that might just be what they are saying. Just want to say too, we are trying to carefully explain. I think people are afraid of saying be worried or be afraid because they don't want to be called fear porn or sensationalist. People are very careful. I just watched a very good video by City Prepper, and he said, I want to make sure you know that the word is concerning, not, panicking or anything else. Here's the thing. That I totally understand. And if you haven't noticed, if you've been watching a lot of videos about this, it has been the case where they say something and then they say, oh, no, but I just want you to know I'm not trying to have you panic or anything else. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying that people literally, it is our job as the matriarch and the patriarchs of our families to pay attention to what is going on around us. I am personally in a city that has actually had the virus, and I would rather take 2 to 3 weeks of precautions that I don't normally take and protect my entire family than not. I mean, it's that easy. As far as, what is the personal problem with somebody wearing a mask out in public? They do it in China all the time. They do it in Asian countries all the time. It is not that big of a deal. Here, we don't do it because of looks and because it's kind of hissed upon. I don't see really a big, huge problem with it. It really depends. It's a personal thing, I guess. But as far as this goes, this is a very serious situation, and people are saying that it's completely false in all of this. They don't take all of China, and I'm talking all of it now, and it's going to get crazier over the next couple days. There's thousands and thousands of videos that are not only coming out, but then being suppressed or just deleted, that are showing all of China is like emptying out. We're going to show you videos here in a second. You're going to be like, whoa, this is crazy. Every single night we have gotten anywhere from 10 to 20 just nuts videos that is just mind-blowing. So we're going to show you those in a minute. Of course, ones just like this. This is people obviously covering their mouth because a citizen who is of the Oriental nation has a suitcase. So, of course, they cover themselves. So we're going to go over those and more in just a minute after the stories and before the calls. Now, it says China virus death toll rises to at least 212 as WHO declares global emergency. So this is when they actually changed it into a global emergency. And what I thought was weird is that several places were not having mandatory quarantines, like Japan. It was crazy because people flying to California had a 14-day mandatory quarantine in Air March Base or whatever it was called. Then that same day, the Japanese folks that came home, and it was at least like 15 of them, were not contained whatsoever. A couple of other countries actually did that as well. And I'm thinking how one of our allies and somebody who the president can talk to Abe or talk to somebody over there and say, how are we going to do this and you're not, if this is as bad as they think, right? I don't understand it, but possibly that might change in just the next couple days. Of course, for the World Health Organization to declare it is a global emergency, and then the U.S. then to follow and say that that is a United States health emergency, then that is a huge deal. This isn't just like everything else. But not to say that this isn't to guide people into something, if you guys know what I mean. It says, health authorities in Hubei, the Chinese province at the center of the coronavirus epidemic, said on Friday that deaths from the disease had risen to 204, a sharp increase that underscores concerns about the virus from global health officials. The World Health Organization said late Thursday that it was declaring the outbreak a global emergency. So again, this is spread to 18 countries, and some of those countries are not actually quarantining. So would that be something done on purpose? That's what, is going around and why people are mad. Personally, I think that we need to wait and we need to be vigilant about understanding what exactly is going on and have all of the information. That's why we have so many stories here. And if we're only able to hit the headlines, then you can go to marfooglenews.com and check it out for yourself. Says CDC issues federal quarantine order to repatriated U.S. citizens at March Air Force Reserve Base. Now, this is coming from the CDC directly. It says the Center for Disease Control and Prevention under statutory authority, which, by the way, a lot of people get afraid of because under the same authority, other laws can kick in. They can basically do whatever they want. It says under statutory authority of the Health and Human Services, HHS Secretary, has issued federal quarantine orders to all 195 United States citizens who repatriated to the U.S. on January 29, 2020. It says the quarantine will last 14 days from when the plane left Wuhan, and it says this action is a precautionary to preventive step to maximize the containment of the virus in the interest of health of the American people. So a lot of people are talking about the fact that this is a forced quarantine. These people, once they get off the plane, they are required to stay at this base. They may not leave. Depending, who knows what their lives are doing, right? They could own businesses. They could be running things. Whatever happens, they can't do it anymore. They are going to be detained. What I also think is really weird about this whole thing is that we have not talked to some of the recovery. As of 2 days ago or yesterday, it was more deaths than recovered patients on this. It was, at the time that I looked at the stat, it was 170 deaths and it was 143 recovered. Why have we not talked to one of the recovered patients? We've only seen one Chinese video that came out with the gentleman in there, and he was saying he felt good and everything else, and he says this is going to come to an end very soon. And it was just kind of odd. Just saying. If you saw that video, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, what's even crazier about this is why have we not seen an actual person? Why aren't they? I understand that to get a camera in with them would be kind of easy. Can't these people talk from their hospital rooms via Skype or something like this? We've seen it a couple times, but it was on a very purposeful situation. I'm talking about actually talking to them, having them interviewed, saying what it's like, what is this actually doing to you, what is the situation like. That is even adding flame to the theory that that this is some sort of crazy. I don't even want to say the H word. So I would just like to see somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree in some sense, but put the shoe on the other foot. If you're the one in the hospital and you've got it, even if you're here in America, right? You're the guy in Washington and you've got it. You don't necessarily want to, when you recover, walk out of the hospital and tell the world that you've recovered, because nobody's going to want to go near you, right? Even if they say you've recovered, you're going to be like, everybody's going to be scared to death to be near you.
Yeah, but for
right?
how long though, right? I mean,
It would probably be a stigma you don't want to have. So I think from a privacy perspective, that's probably why they don't do it, right? Because they don't know what it's going to be like after the fact. At least here in the States, when the numbers are really low, you don't want to be that necessarily that person that gets labeled and identified. They've been really good about keeping everybody's names out right now, but it does shroud it in mystery, right? We don't know what's going on. The CDC, this is interesting though, because the CDC, when they were talking about this before today, about quarantining the plane, they told everybody, hey, the folks there were on voluntary quarantine. They were only going to be there 72 hours. They kept repeating that they were doing everything in the best interest of the public. But it wasn't until the orders came out to call this a national emergency, then they stepped in and said, okay, well now we're sort of told we have to quarantine them, so we're going to quarantine them.
Yeah, so they kind of changed it after time went by. Things have been changing every day so rapidly. That's why people are having a problem actually giving kind of updates on this. By the time they update, it's changed again. A lot of folks think they have the idea that the numbers are way, way off. Some of this is because actual doctors have come out on serious publications and said they believe it could be as high as 30 times higher. So at 8,000 infected, that very well could be 300,000 infected or 200,000 infected. So there's kind of a difference in opinion here, because they believe that China may not have absolutely disclosed everything until they could figure out if they could get a hold on it. They wanted to save face in some ways. You know, I hope that all of this can kind of come out and we can find the exact truth of what happened. But you know, we're working on that as you speak, as we speak, as you dip, I dip, we dip. I don't know how that works, but we'll continue. President T-Man talks to Fox News about the latest on the coronavirus spread. Senator Elizabeth Warren placing blame on the White House. Of course. The thing is the coronavirus was declared a public health emergency in U.S., and that is a step up. So it keeps going up and up and up. Will it be changed? Now, another thing, Dex, is I believe they changed it from a level 3, which is like, you might not want to go to China, to a level 4 saying don't go to China. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, that's correct. The State Department did say, hey, no more you should not travel to China. And matter of fact, I think we got it later in here. The airlines are actually saying, hey, we're not going there anymore either. Like we don't want to fly in there.
Now, it says the Department of Homeland Security also announced that starting on Sunday, flights coming from to the U.S. from China will be funneled through 7 airports that are equipped to screen passengers for symptoms of the virus. While officials continue to insist that the risk of the virus to the American people remains low, Azar said that the measures are being taken are to help, quote, focus efforts as we are dealing with unknowns. So this, of course, a lot of things are changing right now, and the numbers just keep going up and keep going up. Even if this was at the official numbers, this is already surpassed too the infectious rate of SARS as far as how it transfers to other folks. They say it is more infectious than SARS was. People keep relating it to SARS. And again, what's really crazy is we know people, and we've now talked to several people that actually lost their family members to SARS. And here in America or in other countries that never had SARS, they go, oh, that's just another, it will just blow right over. Whereas folks in China, it did hit them hard. Like, that was a big deal. It's always a big deal. But people kind of say, oh, it's just a bird flu or whatever. It's like people don't realize, hello, people died from all of those, no matter what. That's a horrible thing that you're just kind of poo-pooing, that people died from all of those different flus, and you're just kind of saying, oh, no, it's just another one of these. It's just another, something that kills 8,000 people or 10,000 people. Any other thing, if that was an event, like a single event, it would be mourned and it would have its own day. But of course, if it's something like that, people just, they don't look at it the same. As far as yeah, go ahead.
And I was going to say, the quote you just said, Adam, and what I heard in the press conference that I attended, It says right here, focus efforts on the as we are dealing with the unknowns. Okay, so that just tells you the officials, it's unknown. They don't really know what's going on. They don't really know what's going to happen. Like, we don't know. This could be horrific. This could be simple. We don't really know, and so therefore we shouldn't necessarily just blow it off and act like it's no big deal. Doesn't mean we need to go running, in the streets panicking either. But when I was on the press conference, they kept repeating over and over again, "Oh, well, there's nothing we need to worry about right now. This thing is rapidly," and that was their key word, rapidly changing, rapidly evolving. There's rapid changes in what happens, so we don't know. And so that unknown and that rapid development from the officials, I think, is one of the things that's sort of alarming to me. And it's obvious to me because I've been studying it and paying a lot of attention to it, but it ought to be obvious to the rest of the American public, is that you don't need to just sit back and think that it's going to be fine, or sit back and think that it's going to be a major catastrophe. You should prepare yourself and pay attention to what's going on.
Now, we have to be extremely careful because this is not the only platform. These are multiple platforms that we're going on, but there are some things that have just recently happened and transpired that have gotten a lot of people up in arms. A lot of people kind of freaked out. We want to be extremely careful how we say this, but there is some outlets that are actually saying that this could have been created as a some sort of bio thing, right? I'm going to leave that to you guys to look up yourself. I am going to show you a couple articles that we're not going to end up fully covering, but I'm going to show you something that's going to make you go, holy crap. So they are kind of cracking down on some stuff online, and we'll get into that. Like we said, and like we called, even before this thing happened, we've talked about pandemics for months now. If you're new to this channel, I've been talking about all sorts of different things that possibly could come our way, including earthquakes, including meteors, including health disasters like this one. So, we're all about prep, but we don't just talk about them. We actually have 50 state groups, at least in the United States, and then we have other groups outside of the country, a Discord of 12,000 people. And you can join this. Here's the thing. We don't just say, hey, be scared or something. We're not like that. We're actually telling, we're trying to talk about the taboo situations that nobody wants to talk about at work, or people are just like, oh, that's a downer. I don't want to hear it, Mr. Debbie Downer. This is voluntary. You come to my channel or you come to this stream because you want this information. This is voluntary. If you don't like the words I'm saying out of my mouth, then you don't have to be here. In fact, you can just go find happy pony and kitty videos all over all of these platforms, really. I don't think DLive has pony and kitty videos, but you know what I mean. It's not a requirement for you to be here, and if you just happen to be accidentally here, if it's negative things, just like a horror movie that scares you too much, you can always turn it off, press pause, press stop, press rewind, make me go like this, whatever you want to do, it's your choice. You can find your local state group, and then, of course, we have Creators Corner. It is growing rapidly. And it is, the requirements on YouTube is 100 plus subs with 20 plus vids, because we want real creators that are actually putting effort and time into their channel, not somebody who just started one and says, I'm a YouTuber. People that actually understand, which, by the way, if we see you make 20 vids, even if it's in a week, you're in. Exclusive military channel for active and retired military. We have over 400 active and retired military folks in our group, and they are constantly telling us all of these crazy things that are going on base and off. So it's definitely a good place for you guys. We don't even go in there unless we're going to ask a question or if we're going to respond to something. That is a private group for you guys as our vets, our most respected fellows here in the United States, to have an area where you can talk to fellow vets and really talk. If you guys don't know, we've recently raised a good chunk of money for Cars for Heroes. We didn't do 10%, 30%, 50%. We did 100% of our merch to Cars for Heroes, which actually donates to getting transportation for vets. So that's something that's very important here. I love military folks to call in, give us your opinion. You can go to marfooglenews.com. You can also sign up for Marfoogle Alerts. That's an email system that we actually pay for to make sure that we can get a hold of you. If anything happens, if we get knocked off of any platforms, we can still reach you. All right, now this is more news. This is something that I just cannot touch right now. We're going to wait to see what happens. What happened is Zero Hedge got knocked off of Twitter, suspended for this very story. So I'm going to show it to you, and you guys can read, hopefully most of you. I'm almost guaranteeing 99.9. If you can't, then we actually can put the link. If you have any kind of learning disability, you can go to the website. We can also, from there, you can actually load it into an app that actually speaks it to you. That would be something. Or if you're blind, again, those are the only times. On something like this, we're not going to touch it because this is knocking people off left and right. Which, in your opinion, what does that might convey? This is why Zero Hedge was supposedly knocked off Twitter, temporarily at least. 700,000 followers on that Twitter because they said that they were spreading disinformation, or that's what's assumed. So whatever ended up happening for real, essentially an Indian doctor basically said or claimed to have found 4 things in there that make it look like it was Play-Doh'd together, I guess. The transcripts are all getting wrote down right now by the little algorithm bots. So you guys understand, this is in our website, marfooglenews.com. As you can see, this is, whoa, that is the right Zero Hedge, right? Wow, that's really weird.
Yeah, it is. They put that picture on there. It's pretty funny. But yes, that is the right Zero Hedge.
Now, as you can see, I'm gonna refresh here. You'll see what we're talking about. It actually comes up with that. So they posted that. It looks like they're still there. They're still there, but they are suspended temporarily. So maybe it was a big slap on the hand. I don't know. But that's pretty surprising. If it is true, that's nuts. If it's not true, that's why we don't want to, say anything about it quite yet, but we're going to let you have access to it. So then, of course, you can check for yourself and make your own decision. It says a pro T-Man blog has doxed a Chinese scientist it falsely accused of creating the hashtag coronavirus as a bio. So it says, do you want to explain this carefully, Dex? This tweet from Zero Hedge? Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm seeing the same thing you're on because I'm delayed. But the tweet that I had there was one from someone else that had said the Twitter had responded, saying that the Zero Hedge account was permanently suspended for violating the platform for manipulation policy. That was from Ryan Roderick, who actually posted that.
That's why we're letting it up to you guys to check this out. A lot of people are concerned. A lot of our viewers, of course, are big fans. We've covered Tyler Durden articles, of course, the pseudonym for the Zero Hedge ghostwriters, and that's a pretty big deal. There's going to be a lot of people that are pretty angry about this, to say the least. But again, we gave you the information. You guys can go check it out. Now, it says here that Santa Clara County man tests positive for new coronavirus. It says the Santa Clara County resident has been diagnosed with coronavirus, the first case of the mysterious new respiratory illness in the Bay Area, and the 7th case in the United States. Now, this is apparently, I don't know if this is a human-to-human, but it says the patient is an adult man who had recently returned from Wuhan, China, the epicenter of the epidemic. Public health officials said he was likely infected there or in Shanghai, where he had also traveled. The man arrived in the Bay Area at Minota San Jose International Airport on January 24th and self-isolated at home from that day on. Wow. So he apparently did have it. I'd love it if you guys know somebody. We, of course, had one person already call in that had their personal family friend was actually being held with this virus. So if you have or know somebody, please let us know. Now it says men more prone to coronavirus infection than women, study finds. That's pretty nuts in itself. It says the medical journal, The Lancet, has published several pieces of cutting-edge research about the coronavirus, including that the first reports that infected individuals can become contagious before symptoms appear. Now, the journal is one-upping itself by publishing research showing that men are more susceptible to the coronavirus than women. So this is quite a different change. Maybe whoever's in charge is a feminist. I don't know. This is kind of crazy. According to a study, 99 patients treated in Wuhan's Jintian hospital, along with researchers from Shanghai Jiao Tong University and Rujin Hospital in Shanghai, men, particularly those with pre-existing health problems, are more prone to the virus. It confirmed a similar finding from an earlier study. So, apparently men are more susceptible to this. Who knows? That's kind of a weird factoid there.
It's early research. It's all evolving quickly. So they'll have more research as more cases are out there, right? But then it's interesting to see that somebody put this together.
Then it will say, the more chocolate you eat puts you at risk. And then the local library is building speed bumps at 6. Children with stealth coronavirus infections raise fear of, quote, community outbreaks. It says over the past week, as China has shared data about the novel coronavirus with foreign partners who quickly mapped its genome as the world races to develop a vaccine for the virus, which can develop into a potentially deadly case of pneumonia. But several experts, including the drug company Novartis, warned that developing a vaccine will take a year. So this is kind of where it's thrown up in the air. Some folks think that this whole thing is so they can make some miracle thing that everybody will want to take, and then something nefarious. The other half then are saying, well, no, they wouldn't do that if it actually took a year. Or are we going to see some miracle thing come out in a week and say they can't believe they did it so fast? The thing is they're supposed to test it on humans. They're supposed to go through a whole process, and here at least there's a lot of regulations that require them to do studies, to pay participants and actually give them the vaccine and do all of these things before the FDA approves of things like this. So we will see what happens with this. It says, in the meantime, epidemiologists are still struggling to understand the mysterious new virus, a virus that some fear was once studied as a potential bioweapon. It says, so far, researchers have determined that the average incubation period for the virus is between 5 and 6 days, but as more cases are confirmed, researchers are finding a surprisingly large number of young people and children infected with the virus who display few or no symptoms, yet they're still contagious. So as they say, those little germ factories, of course, are kids. Bloomberg shared a story of a 10-year-old boy from Wuhan whose entire family, including his grandparents, fell ill, yet he displayed no symptoms and wasn't tested for the virus until both his parents insisted. It says the boy's case was first made public by the Lancet Medical Journal, which received attention from international press after publishing research on the outbreak last week. Of course, I believe that's the one, men over women. It says only 5 members of the family, including the boy, were infected during a trip to Wuhan. They infected a 6th relative after returning to their unnamed hometown. I like how they say the unnamed hometown. So this is, that's kind of odd. So kids can catch it and not end up showing symptoms of it. Kind of odd. Of course, we're just gathering information here and trying to make sure that everybody knows as much as possible about this virus as possible. Now, if you guys want to help support us in a different way, we of course have more than just one threat that is coming towards us at any given point. Again, we have shown you, we've had experts come on the show. We have had actual people from EMP Shield who are directly working with governments and different states like Texas. EMP Shield is actually currently on the DEMSO team. They've worked for the Homeland Security. They've worked for DOD, and their machinery and their devices are actually protecting military bases, government buildings, things like this. If they're going to protect themselves with something, why aren't we? And again, we have the choice. In fact, in the EMP Resilience Report by the DHS, it actually mentions EMP Shield, I believe, is one of the things that they actually recommend you doing. What it is it's a device that actually grounds the EMP signal before it fries your device. It can actually handle all three phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3. And it can handle CMEs, so coronal mass ejection, which we are expecting, they say, happens on average every 100 years. It's already been over that, so we are overdue for a natural CME. This, of course, would protect anywhere from your house, your car, your generator. Again, none of those things are going to be any good. They say, well, what if the power never comes back on? That's why people have generators and gas. But if that generator doesn't start, what good is it? If you have a bug out spot, but your car doesn't run to get there, what good is it? So really, it's kind of a combo. If you buy multiple pieces, you save $50 off on each device, and then a small commission of that goes to us. And not only does it not cost you anything more, it actually costs you less if you go through our link. It's marfooglenews.com/EMP. It supports broadcasts just like this and to keep everything going. People say, well, you don't have to pay anything to do YouTube. You do to do this kind of YouTube and to do this kind of video. We actually have a lot of services that we are doing for you guys as a people, and we're trying to expand, and we are actually trying to bring on more people so we can do more for the community. We already have groups all over the country meeting in weekly, bi-weekly, and bi-monthly installments, getting prepped up for anything that may come their way, including the Cascadia Subduction Zone, which is far overdue, and I am currently doing a documentary on. All right, so marfooglenews.com/EMP, it does mean a lot, even if you go around us, if you don't use our link, if you find somebody else that's doing it, go through them and get one of these if you have not already. And you can actually, if you do it right, you can even do it in apartments. So let's see here. Now, to move on from this, we've got brutal Chinese leaders to sacrifice coronavirus-infected cities to save 11 others, prepared to accept millions of... Wow. This is incredible. This is, of course, by Mike Adams, who is no longer on most platforms because he does not filter. It says, brutal Chinese leaders have made a decision to sacrifice entire cities of their own citizens in order to save 11, quote, protected cities elsewhere, according to a bombshell leaked, acquired by Hong Kong media professional Stephen Shik Yuk Yun. So again, this is according to that. This, we have put the link there so you can look at it yourself. We do not, of course, know exactly what this is. It says, as reported in the Epoch Times, the 11 cities on the CCP's priority list are being saved, Beijing, Tianjin, where we covered that explosion a while back, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Hangzhou, Xi'an, Xinyang, Harbin, and Urumqi. I think that's how you say it. And the CCP is prepared to protect these 11 cities at all cost, even if it means sacrificing other cities, Xu said. That's nuts. It says this secret meeting took place, or supposedly took place, on January 25th and demonstrates the brutality of the communist Chinese regime, which has in effect imprisoned 56 million of its own citizens in military enforced quarantine zones where food, fuel, and medical supplies are nearly depleted. So that is absolutely true as far as the 56 million. This is the thing. This isn't just some giant done on stage and recorded thing. There are thousands of people all over the country, millions of people all over the country that have friends and family in China, and this is absolutely happening. We have so many comments down below. My friend this, my friend that, my family, my brother, my this. They're all affected, and they're talking to these people through either VPNs if they can't actually talk to them directly. If they were originally outside of that zone, they could still talk to them. Inside that zone, it's been crazy because they've actually been holding back this kind of information. Absolutely nuts. So I wanted to hook up with a woman named Megan. She is possibly, I don't know if I can actually see if we can get a hold of her during this. I'll try to look it up. I might have Dex take over for 2 seconds and see if we can get a hold of her. And then my sister is actually going to be one of the callers tonight because she is actually found some weird things as far as connections in not only prophecy, but she's actually really, really good at some of these things, and she does a lot of research. But as far as a lot of people are freaked out about this, and my family included, my aunt, you guys know that, not everybody in everybody's family is going to exactly go the same route. But I do have family that supports me and watches my show and understands we do have connections through different, outlets. And we kind of, we've always had this somewhat knowledge of what's going on. I have very, very smart family members. One of my aunts has gotten tons and tons of gear just in case things go further south. As far as this goes, this is nuts. The 11 cities that they are going to protect, imagine the measures they're going to take. We've already seen that they are physically holding people in. People are mad. People are trying to escape. I mean, this is nuts. If this happened here, it would be absolutely insane because it would all get out. Over there, they've actually locked down a lot of it, and a lot of it does not go anywhere. So, they've actually been congratulated on some of their containment, as far as their way of doing it. In fact, even our president, I believe, said, good job on this. So what's your opinion? Love to hear it in the chat or in the comments down below. Based on information leaked from this meeting, it now appears that the Chinese government leadership sees this coronavirus pandemic as an existential threat to its own existence. And it has made the decision to sacrifice millions, supposedly, if necessary, to protect the more core cities that drive China's economic and manufacturing power. That is, again, this is from Mike Adams, so you guys can check him out if you want. I'm not, Mike Adams, I would love to talk to that gentleman sometime, but it's just so crappy that they have made it so some of these folks that have been kicked off, you aren't even allowed to even have them on. It's really unfortunate. Let's see here. Millions could die. Bill Gates warned in 2018 that the world needs to prepare for pandemics like war. So, just nuts. Now, a lot of people have talked about the study and the simulation that they ran 3 months ago. It says if a highly contagious and lethal airborne pathogen like the 1918 influenza were to take hold today, nearly 33 million people worldwide would just die in 6 months. It says Gates noted in his prepared remarks, citing a simulation done by the Institute of Disease Modeling, a research organization in Bellevue, Washington, which, by the way, I'm going to try to get an interview from these guys. This is actually drivable for me. I am in Bill Gates land. So it says specifically, Gates said that the U.S. government is falling short in preparing the nation and the world for the, quote, significant probability of a large and lethal modern-day pandemic occurring in our lifetimes. So the main worry is that, is this it? Is this that one? Obviously, people want to say, no, it's not, it's just another one, it's just going to fly by. I have never seen in my life, I don't know about you, if there's anybody who is 90 plus years old, have you ever seen 50, 60 million people quarantined and literally have them bricked into their cities straight out of a movie? Like literally bricking in tunnels, literally putting up dirt and filling exit tunnels to cities. I haven't seen that, ever. I have not seen the thousands of videos like some of them I'm going to show you here in a minute. This is different. That's just my opinion. You guys can have yours. I mean, I don't get how it's insurmountable, the amount of evidence that this is way more serious than they say. But who knows? Maybe I'm just crazy. This is kind of, I was going to move on, but I'm going to see this one last thing. Gates discussed his efforts to convince the T-Man administration to set aside more funding for the CDC control and prevention and to prioritize the creation of a national response plan that would govern how resources are deployed during a pandemic or biological attack. So that's, it says, so we need to invest in other approaches like antiviral drugs and antibody therapies that can be stockpiled or rapidly manufactured to stop the spread of pandemic diseases or treat people who have been exposed. That was a direct quote from his speech. He says, quote, "The world needs to prepare for pandemics in the same serious way it prepares for war." So that single part, though, I do agree with. As far as what does our military do? They drill, they drill, they drill, they drill, they drill, they drill, they drill. Why don't we do that for things like this? They do once in a while. You see one or two kind of acting jobs open up, but you don't really see it compared to, you hear all the time, every year there's a drill here, drill there, drill this, military, going and doing these humongous drills, underground, upground, at night, in daytimes, along coastlines, doing all this thing every year, every month. I mean, they are some of the most prepared as far as conflict, but as far as something like this, which could take out far more lives and nobody to blame, and they don't do stuff like this. So it's almost like they're just waiting for it to happen or something. School district closes for 2 days after 600 students call in sick. Yeah. That's nuts.
If you want to read this one, I just realized that entire article didn't load correctly. I put the meat and potatoes in.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the original.
Yeah, you can just read a couple paragraphs from the screener. You'll get it.
That's okay. I'll close it afterwards. Another thing that we actually do is we take the time to transfer over these articles so they don't slow down everything, and take out all of the ads so you don't have random things happening. So this is in Cleves, Ohio. I don't know if they're shortening Cleveland's or there's an actual Cleves. I've got family in Ohio, but I've never heard of Cleves. But I might just be wrong. It says an entire school district in Ohio, this is where we talked about the two students, how they canceled all of the games, women's and men's. And it says an entire school district in Ohio was shut down for 2 days this week after nearly 600 students called in sick. It says all classes and after-school activities and Three Rivers local school districts in Cleves were canceled for Thursday, January 30th and Friday, January 31st because of a major flu outbreak. This is pretty weird. And nobody, if this was, just hypothetically, if this was 1 or 2 cases, that would be a huge deal. That means, or people calling in sick because they're afraid of getting it. Or parents saying call in sick because they want to wait. I don't know. What do you think, Dex? What do you think this is? Do you think that these kids are actually sick?
If nothing else, it's eye-opening that a virus, illness, a sickness can quickly spread rampantly in an area and infect a lot of people. Whether this is obviously not the virus that we're worried about, but this is an example of, hey, look, it just went through quickly and boom, we had to basically shut down an entire district.
Well, so it says out of nearly 2,400 people who attend or work there, so that's actually 2,400 is including teachers, staff, everything. So take a couple hundred away from that. So say 2,200 or something like that. 600 is basically almost 1/3 of all students were gone out of the school sick during those 2 days. That's nuts. So you're looking at a class of 30, and you're looking at 10 people gone in every class. That's pretty nuts. That would be noticeable, too. You would see empty desks and physically go, holy crap. You know, what are you going to say? We'll see there, because they actually did have a couple under investigation. I bet everybody's kind of tripping out there, too, because of it. It says Trump imposes travel restrictions, mandatory quarantines over coronavirus outbreak. So we've talked about this previously, but essentially they are going to do mandatory quarantines over this outbreak. It says that they declared a public health emergency in the United States and announced that people who pose a risk of transmitting the disease will temporarily be suspended from entering the U.S. It says Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar said that the President Donald signed an order for the U.S. to deny entry to foreign nationals who have traveled to China within the past 2 weeks, aside from the immediate family of U.S. citizens. So, and if they do, anybody who does come in will be subject up to 14 days of mandatory screening. So look at that. The second that I opened that up, it started skipping. Okay, so we'll close all this other stuff down. Let's see here. Zero heads, all of that. Should bring it way back down again. All right, and then missing notifications. Website notifications are now available. Works with most browsers and Android. iOS is coming soon. Look for the prompt and click the bell. Again, this is on marfooglenews.com. If you see this little red bell down there, make sure to click it because it will ask you to subscribe to our notifications. That way you're not depending on somebody else's notifications for this. Now it says China virus cases may be undercounted even with 3,000% surge. This is actually from Bloomberg, so this isn't from, it's not from any doubted news source, I guess. Well, I mean, yes, there's people who doubt it, but it's officially accepted, right? It says the number of confirmed cases of the new coronavirus in China has skyrocketed to more than 9,000, surpassing the official count during the SARS epidemic. But the true number of infections may even be higher as health workers struggle to catch up with the disease. Shortage of testing kits and overworked hospital staff are straining China's health systems, hampering efforts to accurately track how many people have the pathogen. It says that the result is a hectic and imprecise process that creates bottlenecks as health experts attempt to pin down the scope of the disease that's claimed more than 200 lives. So the province can process about 6,000 tests a day. So it's actually, there's a limit to how many tests they can even process. And there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people going lined up. If you see the videos of the people lined up to the hospitals, it's not like there's 9,000 people lined up. In fact, we have usually, think about a football stadium. We've seen that lined up for one hospital in one video. We're talking about all of China is lined up for, to get tested. So this is going to hit a much higher number in my opinion, but we'll see. So what do you guys think? Give us a call at 224-400-MARF. It says haunting pictures show dead man left lying in street of deserted coronavirus ground zero. This is the chilling moment. A cyclist casually rides past the body of a pensioner who dropped dead in the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. It says police and medics in hazmat suits were later seen inspecting the corpse on the deserted pavement in crisis-hit Wuhan. So here's the thing. There's a lot of things being said here, and there's a lot of video to back it up. So we're going to see that this is going to obviously be a big difference from what they have actually said before. That's my theory here. It says, although it's not known if the gray-haired man died of the killer bug, it is clear from these pictures that the authorities were taking no chances. After being inspected, the body was eventually zipped into a medical bag, carried into a van, before the street was thoroughly disinfected. Now, how fast does it have to be to get you like that. Now, some say that the folks over there don't want to go to hospitals. A lot of them do traditional Chinese medicine. There's the lost generation, of course. There's some folks that literally do not do Western medicine. They do Chinese medicine. So who knows? They might even do, no joke, acupuncture and think, okay, we're good. And how would you get to the point where you fall down in the street? How would you be walking if your pneumonia was that bad? I guess it could happen. I mean, this is pretty nuts. What's crazy to me is that you're seeing a lot of videos of younger people, not older. One onlooker said she believed that the local had died from an illness caused by the virus. I'm not going to blow that one up. That's just nuts. All the links are at marfooglenews.com. There's even more. These folks are, of course, just taking a rest. More shocking evidence of the people in the Hubei province dropping because they can't breathe. If you guys want to support us in a different way, you guys can end up going to marfooglenews.com/earthing. I do grounding. People have been doing it for decades. A lot of our Foogle family does it. Basically, you have to talk to somebody who's done it. Once you do it, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's what we were meant to do. If you have never seen what grounding is, make sure to go to marfooglenews.com/GT. Of course, we've had the wonderful Muriel Hemingway on our show. Ernest Hemingway's daughter there, and then Amy Smart, Deepak Chopra. Lots of folks are in that movie. We, of course, had Clint Ober on the show. Go check out that movie. It just released on the red carpet about 3 months ago, and it is completely free for our viewers. So make sure to check that out. It talks about the 25-plus medical studies that prove that purely standing on the grass could actually help. If you want products that, not all of us can actually sit outside and stand on the grass all day, you can go to earthing at marfooglenews.com/earthing or go to our store on our website, and it ends up supporting us as a channel as well. Everything that we are trying to do here. Because obviously, a lot of people don't realize there's costs that go into this, like hiring lawyers to get back on and to hire lawyers a lot this year. So thank you guys for being behind us all the way. Thank you, Foogle fam, for just being amazing. And then coronavirus, China accused of burning in secret. I'm not going to say that sentence. Man, this is a lot of huge stuff. And this is a lot of people saying the same thing. It says World Health officials back from a visit to Beijing expressed great concern that a dangerous new virus was spreading between people outside of China, even as numbers of illnesses continue to grow dramatically inside that Asian nation. The new virus has now infected more people in China than were sickened during the 2002-3 Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, or SARS, outbreak. On Wednesday, the number of cases jumped from 5,974, surpassing the 5,327 people diagnosed with SARS. So it's a big deal, though. But basically, they're saying, wow, they're saying that possibly people are being taken out back and buried or taken to the crematorium. I'm going to let you guys be the judge for yourself. This article is on our website, marfooglenews.com. That is from the New Zealand Herald. So, again, these are pretty big outlets that are actually saying these things. CDC issues mandatory quarantine, again, outside the U.S. CDC issues mandatory quarantine for the first time in more than 50 years to Wuhan passengers in California. So this is something that does not happen very often. It says U.S. officials have quarantined 195 Americans evacuated from Wuhan, China. It's the first time in 50 years that the U.S. has issued a mandatory quarantine order. The passengers will be quarantined at the March Air Force Reserve Base. So this does not happen very often. And then airlines suspend China flights due to the coronavirus. So this is a lot of airlines ending up not flying just because of this. And it says airlines are suspending flights to China in the wake of the new coronavirus outbreak, which as of Friday has killed more than 200 people and infected nearly 10,000. So every single day that keeps jumping and jumping and jumping. So it says Air France. Air France said on January 30th it suspended all scheduled flights to and from mainland China. Air India canceling Mumbai, Delhi, Shanghai flight. Air New Zealand said on January 31st it was temporarily reducing flights between Auckland and Shanghai to 4 return services a week from February 18 to March 31st. So they're looking 3 months out. Again, I actually covered something yesterday. The officials and the stuff that they're kicking in is kicking in until April. Some events are moved until next year. This is how serious they're taking it. They're starting things in March or April. So 3 months down the road, it's very odd. You would think that they would do it. They wouldn't have a specific date on there. Or they wouldn't have, Air Seoul, Air Tanzania, American Airlines, British Airways, Cathay Pacific Airways, Delta, Egypt Air, Delta Airlines, Israel Airlines, Ethiopian, Etihad, Finnair, Kenya Airways, Lion Air. I think you guys get the point here. Literally every airline in the world. This is way more serious than most people want to think. That's every airline from A to Z. Well, sorry, A to V. There is no Z. Coronavirus drone army deployed to spray disinfectant across Chinese cities. Another thing that has been going around is they say that these drones are actually going around talking to people without masks and saying, put on mask, go home. Very creepy video from China. These big drones actually with voice activated, they're actually saying things to people. And they are spraying disinfectant apparently with drones. That's pretty nuts. So this is pictures of what is supposedly going on. These are sprayers disinfecting. Sorry, guys. I've been coughing. So we didn't go live last night because I've been having my own kind of issues here. Keep coughing, man. Ugh. Yeah, just absolutely nuts as far as these drones go, spraying and talking to people. That's kind of nuts. And we showed the video of it's just complete deserted outliers, and they've got these trucks spraying the streets just everywhere. That's nuts. Airlines stop flights to China due to coronavirus. Chinese furious. Imagine being basically trapped there. And it's and then of course T-Man banning them from coming back. That's pretty nuts. All right, and then if you guys have not checked out NordVPN, make sure to go do so. We're about to show you all the videos. So just one last thing from Dex. Dex, I'm going to let you handle the Nord while I grab something to drink. And then we're going to be playing all the Twitter videos that we have put together of this virus coverage.
Absolutely. Well, if you don't have a VPN, you really need one. If you're using a computer on the internet, we all here, you're doing that. You should protect yourself. And if you don't have a VPN, you need to get one. They're very easy. They're not a geeky thing. It's so easy. My mom uses it, and it's literally like a light switch. You turn it on and you're protected, and you turn it off and you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can go to marfooglenews.com/VPN to get a great deal on a VPN from one of the best providers out there. They're very fast. They have a lot of options and services. You can actually run it on 6 different devices. They have 24/7 support and a great deal for the Foogle fam. This will protect your IP address so that you are hidden from the bad guys when they're trying to infiltrate your home network or infiltrate the location you are, or infiltrate your phone when you're out somewhere. This will secure all of the information that you're passing on the internet through to the VPN provider so that those bad guys can't try to sniff out the information you're seeking, or the website you're looking at, or your credit card information on a public Wi-Fi, or even on your home Wi-Fi if they happen to be outside your home or a neighbor and they're trying to sniff your network. Using a VPN will add an extra layer of protection. It's real simple, marfooglenews.com/VPN.
All right, thank you, Dex. And again, that ends up helping the channel. So if you want to do that, you may. Here's something also crazy that we're going to talk about. We're going to end up talking about with my sister here. My sister's going to end up calling in, or we're going to call her, either one. But we're going to go through these videos here first. Now, this, of course, is being called racist because essentially there's tons of videos going around like this, essentially showing people seeing somebody who is of the Chinese descent, the Chinese nationalism, and they have basically been covering up. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that you would do the same thing? Do you think it's not racist and it's just being overly safe? Do you think it's just saying because they're this, they must have that? In this case, the only thing I would have to say is it's somebody with a gigantic suitcase and they're Oriental. Would that change your mind? That's what most people are saying in the tweets down below. If you look, people are like, they're just being careful. A lot of people are arguing about this. I think in a way it kind of is. It is. But in the other way, it's being overly safe. So, I mean, it's like, this is a huge argument, by the way. Nothing has caused more. This is 4.5 million views in 2 days on Twitter. That's a big deal. And then, of course, it says people spot this at a university. What is U of T? University of Texas bookstore today. 200% to 400% markup in a time like this. Come on, University of T, you are better than this. I know this is not what you represent. University of Texas student life. So, okay. So this is the stuff that's been going around. This is an actual college marking up N95 masks by this much. Look at this. $2 each or $100 a box. $160 a box on these N95 respirators. And these are just the cheapo ones that go over. It's just the material. It's not like these are fancy. They don't have rubber. It's just the paper. Is that? I mean, you would expect this on eBay, but from a university, that's disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm sure that this is getting a lot of coverage. They're going to be kicking themselves right in the head. New York is seeing a high demand for face masks as people fear the 2019 novel coronavirus. It says CGTN visited several pharmacies to see how people are coping. So this is, again, empty shelves everywhere you go. People are grabbing masks up like crazy. And you just really can't find them in certain cities. So look at that, what he said. I don't know if you saw that. He said, today we sold 6,120 masks before we had them properly sold. That's nuts. Wow. And then it says, I had earlier reports of mass exodus of people trying to leave major cities not yet under quarantine. Not yet under quarantine in China due to the coronavirus after the WHO's global health emergency yesterday. So this is basically saying these people think, oh crap, we're about to be trapped. So they are trying to flee and leave either the country or the cities. So look at this. This is absolutely nuts. Let's see if I can actually turn this. Bird flu. Yeah, I'm not going to have that because they put some corny music behind it. Oh, okay. No, that's not on this one. So I will play the the audio from this. Let's see here. from Satori Dippenemnotis. So check this out. Is this not out of a movie, you guys? Yep. Yep, nothing's going on still. It's all just smoke and mirrors, guys. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's like super annoying to it's hard to not touch your face. Just had to use my Wuhan scratcher. Check this out. Haunting drone footage shows nearly empty road and waterways, typically busting Wuhan, China amid a citywide lockdown over the deadly coronavirus outbreak. And people still think, oh yeah, this is nothing. This is not what happened during SARS. This is not at all. During SARS, they had a couple like little tiny villages that were kind of spot held. This is huge. This is the biggest thing that's happened in our lifetimes. When is the last time 60 million people were literally kept in their homes and not allowed to leave? That's 6 times New York's population. New York, one of the most populated cities in the world. The city that never sleeps. You are actually fined if you are driving. So whoever is driving is official. These are officials. They are government. Those are the only people that are driving. Look at how big this city is. Look at those skyscrapers. So people... This is from their dumb decisions like not quarantining Japanese when they went home and things like this. UK has already had multiple cases. They just did a Cobra meeting yesterday, which they usually do for like tea attacks. Something is going on. You can argue about it. We can debate it. Again, like I said in the beginning of the show, you don't have to watch. This is a voluntary thing to do. You don't have to see my show or anybody else's covering this. Very unnerving. Procedures for removing an infected person from a plane. Not a lot of procedures. Open exposure to passengers. Did you see this, Dex?
Yeah. Did you see take a look at the mask on one of the guys? I mean, and then other people are just sitting there with no protection at all. Right, I would have thought you would at least like warn everybody up and down that aisle and like either have them move or put masks on or something.
Yeah, like put your shirt over your face and like these other people, even though it doesn't help because it just goes right into your eyes. Most people are wearing masks, but other people are like, I don't care. Imagine what they're thinking right now.
You see the one guy, you see him at the end. He's like got on his phone. He's got no mask on. He's just looks over, no big deal. Looks back, keeps going. Wow, I'd be worried.
No, he does have a mask. The guy on his phone has a black mask on.
Does he?
The guy in the white,
one with the red shirt.
Oh, never mind. No. The white guy, yeah. With glasses.
Red glasses on. Yeah.
I bet he's thinking, holy crap. So that guy just went by and then saw this Power Ranger here. Look at that dude's mask. You see that? He's a Mighty Morphin Wuhan Ranger. That's a badass mask. You know, everybody's got, that doesn't look as crazy like, as some of the, you know what I mean? Like, I want a mask like that. That's some serious business. That's probably $1,000 mask or something. Think about how much the actual whole face masks are. That thing, that contains everything. That's like the mask out of Outbreak, which is creepy in itself. Let's see here. And then hospital queues in Hubei. We've shown you all week. This is just absolutely intensifying every single day. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people. This isn't a joke, people. Like, people are still thinking that this is all some, just totally made up thing to get the U.S. This is how most of us think, though. Kind of selfish, in my opinion. We're thinking that this is all to get us, just the U.S., to do something to us. The thing that might take a year to make. I don't know. It very well could be something nefarious, but it's definitely real. So, those are some humongous lines. And then around 200 French national and several foreigners were transported to quarantine center on the southern French coast after being repatriated from Wuhan to flee the coronavirus. So these are all folks going to France. That is nuts. And then, of course, Wuhan coronavirus patients arrive at Aero Park Hospital Whirl. Check this out. Escorted. Just one more time, a little bit bigger. Yeah. Now, check this out. The government health employees are spraying chemical disinfectants on the streets of Chinese cities under quarantine in the effort to combat the deadly coronavirus. So this is them spraying. Absolutely nuts. Whatever this thing is, they're not playing around. And then Chinese health authorities announced Saturday that 11,791 confirmed cases of pneumonia caused by the novel coronavirus. Shanghai reported another 18 new coronavirus cases on Saturday, pushing the total to 158. So wait a second.
So that stat is pneumonia, not just coronavirus, but the pneumonia caused by the coronavirus. It's a different stat. I hadn't seen that one before.
Well, it also says close to 12,000. So that means the 10,000 infected, if they're basically saying that is caused by that, then that automatically says it's 12,000, not whatever they say it is.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the most recent number I've seen out of all of the numbers we have, and obviously the largest.
And then, of course, Shanghai subway station, Thursday, January 30th, 2020. Oh, man, oh, man. I think you guys get the point here. So, all of these videos are on our website. In fact, when you go to Connections to Wuhan, the Crowned Horse, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, you'll see that every one of these videos, including more, is on our website. You can go see the photos, see everything that has taken hours to collect is all right there. So this work is all done, so you don't have to do the work. All you have to do is follow us, share our stuff. Boom. It is free collections for you. That last one is really, really crazy. Wow. Okay, and then let's see here. All right, I'm going to pop open our screen here. Roop Kegger, thank you. It says, keep up the good work. I trust no 3 or 4 letter news shows. Keep us informed. Go Marfoogle. Roop Kegger, thank you so much. Again, you absolutely like over the top. Thank you to you. Let's see here. Sent a $100 super chat. That's huge. Cab7, you don't have to do anything, my brother. Honestly, you guys are super funny. You and Green Bay Packy. I just felt like you guys reached out and were really, really amazing. So it says, thank you for the up-to-date news, my friend, keeping the news real. That was, of course, Cab7, which eventually I want everybody to check out. Stormy weather. Hey, Adam, heard this thing being called the coronavirus, carnivorous virus. Change around the letters, and this is what it spells. Gives me the creeps. Death is here. Everyone, please prepare. That's, of course, stormy weather. And then Cab7 says, Megan is a good friend of mine. You are right. What she is having to live through in China. So that was the woman I'm talking about over on DLive. That's how I met her. That's the person I want to get on and talk to you guys about. She has to use VPNs to actually get through to us. It's pretty nuts, the risks that they take to get a hold and to actually do stuff here on this platform, or any platform, really. And then Barbara 13, I am on disability and love contributing to you and your channel. I wish I could send more. Don't have to do that, Barbara. I really appreciate you, and you've always been around for a while, so you know my feelings on that. Lady Green Eyes, loves to you, fam, Adam, and Dex. We have reported cases 90 minutes from me in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Then we have Who Flung Dung. Gonna wait your return to YouTube, Marf. DLive was too much for my old brain. LOL. Thank you for you and all that your mods do. Just so you know, too, people came the first night and everybody was doing the stickers. I know that a lot of DLivers do the stickers thing, but for my community, they really like to talk about the subjects that we're covering, so it didn't really work. We did stop that after the first night. And then thank you, Adam, Dex, and the mods. You bring the information that we need to know every day. Thank you for covering what is happening now. Craig Mumbo, thank you guys so much for these updates. You are quite possibly saving lives. We've got Ilea. I wanted to say I DM'd you back, but I'm not sure. I was going to give you my daughter's name. She actually makes really awesome necklaces, which I'll show you guys at some point. Adam, I have to get your girls their necklaces by V-Day. Yeah, that's possible. Jay Roche, Chinese for dinner tonight. Jay. Linda Way, God bless the Foogle fam. Boom, boom, request for tomorrow. Who Flung Dung, I gotcha. Linda Way, thank you. Preferred Truth Media says, please stop by and subscribe to my new channel. God bless. That again was Preferred Truth Media. And then Lady Green Eyes, Canada, Google City TV, Toronto is there. Adam. Linda Way, and then Kevin Furman. Thank you. All right, and then I will pop in and I'll actually talk to some folks. We are actually going to add something to the DLive chest as well tonight. So if you're trying to get into that too, make sure to participate, chat, and say hi. I'm actually possibly going to pop over there as well. Okay, and then we've got something here that Dex has loaded up. Dex, so what is this? Is this somebody? It says somebody coughs on somebody else during the press conference. What is this?
Just a little irony. I don't want to call it humor.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The CDC guy coughs on Ross Perot at USA Disease Conference. Oh my gosh. Remember the SNL episodes of Ross Perot?
Oops, forgot cover your mouth when you cough right at that guy's face. I think many of you will be prohibited flying to and from China.
Dude, he like directed it. I love this guy as Oops.
Airlines in general will be prohibited flying to and from China. There is no travel. Oops, forgot to cover your mouth when you cough right at to and from China. There is no travel. Oops, forgot to cover your mouth. There is no travel. Oops, forgot. No travel. Oops. No travel. Oops. No travel. Oops. Forgot to cover your mouth when you cough right at that guy's face.
Somebody's got to sample that. I want to take that guy's oops and put it in one of my songs. Okay, so let's see here. All right, now we have my sister up first, I believe. This is awesome. Okay, so my sister... Again, this is my blood sister, so you guys are going to get to meet... she goes by Liberty. She just kind of learned how to get into the chat and things like this. Okay, Dex, if you want to push Liberty 333 through. Of course, going by that to... for safety reasons. Hello. Oops. You are live on Marfoogle TV. Liberty 333, my blood sister. What is going on?
Hi. Hi. I'm very nervous to be on live. Hi, everybody.
All right. So just talk to me like you're talking normal. Okay. So you know we actually have family that is very concerned about this as well, and you have been very concerned about this. And first off, you actually told me that you are getting basically picked on, not only on social media, but people are looking at you weird because you are wearing gloves and a mask. Is that right?
I don't have the mask yet. I'm wearing the gloves. I actually started a few weeks ago when you first started to mention it. The thing is that when you first started to mention it on the show, I just deep down inside knew it was going to get worse. So I started telling my kids to wash their hands, and I started using tons of sanitizing wipes at the grocery store, and people were looking at me like something was wrong with me. But now I'm wearing the gloves. I'm getting the masks. Yeah, because I had such a bad feeling about it, and then it got to be to the point where it did. I don't know if my intuition is just feeling what all of these poor people in China must be going through right now, in this situation that they're in, which makes me just feel sad what you just said, that they're being just kind of locked into their cities. And so I don't know if my intuition just sensed that something bad like that alone was going to happen, or if there was more to it. But at the same time, I got an email from my son's school saying, that they're looking for kids with fevers. They've asked the teachers to sanitize public, mostly used surfaces. So I feel like, okay, my feeling that I need to be cautious right now, I'm going to just go ahead and listen to that. And it's really not that big of a deal. It just means that I am making sure that things are sanitary, and I'm taking extra precautions. And I'm thinking, well, I already have emergency sort of supplies built up. I am your sister. But, I'm making sure that I have just things that we really would need. What if we are stuck in our house for a few months or something? Do I have some good books for us even, or whatever? I'm just really trying to be logical but careful. But my intuition scared me so much that that was the hard part for me. That was it. Is just knowing it was going to get bad, and then seeing how bad it's gotten alone is enough that it bothers me,
So, and then...
Oh, by the way, our auntie went to actually a seminar on pandemics, and got a whole bunch of stuff from her naturopath that's like either to prevent or help. And when she told me that too, I was like, you know what? We are just not feeling right about this. So I'm just going to go with it. You know, why not be safe?
Well, because
sorry.
no, too, as you know, we are lucky to have family that doesn't exactly think we're crazy. In fact, we're lucky to have the family we do. We're lucky to kind of have the ability to go off grid and things like this. But then on top of this, you have kind of a theory about this or something that you've kind of been digging deep, and you said that this stuff kind of keeps popping up to you, like it keeps coming to you. Now, can you tell me what you basically told me earlier about the whole Corona crown? I have heard other people, in fact, Jacob Israel told me the other day, he's like, you're going to flip. Corona is actually crown, and then he was spitting some knowledge on me. But you kind of made a connection between the Denver airport and the coronavirus as far as like your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm not usually one of those people that listens to the weird conspiracy things where all these numbers mean things and blah, 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 but I just started to look into things on my own, and I just felt led certain ways, and I'm going to just tell you how I told you to all of everybody else, because then it will make sense. So really, my first reaction when I heard the word Corona and I heard all these people joking, the beer jokes, I thought, this just doesn't feel right that it's a joke already, like, why is it a joke? So I looked up the meaning and got into the Latin meaning of Corona, which in fact, yes, it's a Latin meaning is crown. And it's a crown that's given to athletes, gods, or the dead. And basically, it's also can be like a garland or a wreath, or like it's also known as a halo. So basically, what they would do, especially around like the year 200, even, that you'll find these on the casket, painted on the front of the casket. They would paint a portrait of their loved one, and then they would paint the corona crown on their head. It goes way back to ancient Egyptians. It's a way of celebrating going into the afterlife. You're being crowned, like the gods, basically. So I sent a picture, I think, that Dex got.
So I have the lady with the crown. This is one example of the family painting this. What is it? It's
portrait. It's a portrait of a deceased girl. And then what she's wearing is her corona, which is a garland crown. It's Latin for crown. And that's the garland was representative for the dead specifically. So it was just really what they put on. So I just wanted to show everyone that this crown is a representation of something that you would even place on the dead, and the fact that it's with a coffin, because that all ties together.
Okay,
so going through the rest of
so next we have a picture. So I'll pull up the next picture, which is obviously the constellations, but I'll let you just keep going.
Yeah, so as I'm going through all of this and I'm looking into the corona is a star constellation because it's known as the Northern Crown, and I'm looking into their, beliefs and their religious things and, whatnot. The Northern Crown is borders Hercules. Now, if you look at Hercules, the star constellation, he's holding a club as a weapon, and then if you look in front of him, there's the crown. He brings his weapon down for destruction. He's a conqueror, right? And this bow in front of him, he can often be holding one weapon and reaching out to like grab a secondary weapon. So he's a master of weapons, and he brings them down for destruction. Now, I was sitting there, I actually follow BP Earthwatch a little bit, and he shows this picture of the gas mask picture at the Denver airport. And the thing about Hercules specifically in ancient pictures and on their pottery, if you look at the constellation itself, he's in a lunging position. It's really important. It's like their thing. If you saw the lunging man with the weapon, that is Hercules, the bringer of destruction. When I saw the gas mask picture, that was at the Denver airport that just flashed in front of my mind because I was watching BP Earthwatch. I saw Hercules there. He's in a lunge. He's holding a weapon. He's bringing it down. And I thought, he's bringing down the corona. It all ties together with destruction. Everything is destruction and death. It's the picture, the bowing of it. It's all. It's a really. If anybody ever researched any of the art there's also this picture of these like 3 children and they're all in coffins. And there's no lids on the coffins. And I'm like, this is what people painted the portrait of the dead on the lid of the coffin with the corona like lids on those children's coffins. And there's the lunging man with the gas mask holding the gun, and he's bringing down the sword. It really just struck me like as creepy, you know? I mean, it all just kind of, I'm seeing all of it at one time. And then I was led to the Bible.
Well, it's almost kind of weird too that we just read something that the children are carrying it, but they're not getting sick from it. So, I mean, what if something was organized so the children would carry it but wouldn't get it or something?
Yeah. And I've worried about the time that it takes for them to get a vaccine and the amount of time that a virus can mutate, and whether or not this was made or not, maybe it can mutate pretty quickly. So who knows? We don't know anything about this virus really, when it comes right down to it. We don't even really know where it came from.
Now, what about the horse? You said something about the horse as well. Just the fact that it's
because yes, part of this whole art display that was at the Denver airport was this like horribly ugly. It's still there, I believe. It's like this giant pale blue horse. It's got glowing red eyes. It's like, and I'm looking through and I'm seeing the horse and the eyes, and I'm like, why add the horse with all of this? And then that's when the Bible verses actually like came to me, and I don't even know exactly how it came to me.
It's like the
but this part,
Georgia Guidestones, the Denver airport, it's all Mason symbology and things. It's just really weird. There was Gremlins too. There was Gremlins with the suitcase. Do you remember that too? Now people with suitcases
yeah, they're
are
not gremlins. They're
gargoyles.
They're not gremlins. They're the gargoyles. Yes. Yeah. The Guidestones. I knew about those and things like that. And just the fact that personally, I feel like they should have been doing this quarantine and on the airport, and I think they should have been sanitizing the airports like weeks ago. And what worries me is that they haven't been. So I was trying to do the math of like how many people would be flying around and how many people, blah, blah, blah. I can't do math, but it didn't seem like a good number to me. So, I don't really trust things, so I'm going to be careful. But the part that, when I got to the horse, and then I don't know, somebody brought up a thing in Revelation. And so I'm just going to read the first few chapters. I'd really always suggest to anyone, if someone reads to you out of the Bible, to go ahead and go read it yourself, read before, read it after, read the Bible for yourself, please. I'm just going to read a short verse because it struck me. I watched as the Lamb opened, this is Revelations chapter 6. I watched as the Lamb opened the first of the 7 seals. Then I heard one of the 4 living creatures say in a voice like thunder, "Come." I looked, and there before me was a white horse. Its rider held a bow, and he was given a crown. And he rode out as a conqueror like Hercules, bent on conquest. And you really need to read through these other ones, because as the next Lamb opens the seal, come the fiery red one, there's slaying. Then there's the black one that comes, and with the scales. It says, don't hurt the oil and the wine, but the barley and the wheat. It sounds like people can't, there's farming things, I don't know, but the fourth seal, it's like all of these seals are opened. And then the fourth seal after is the pale horse, of course, which is named Death, who followed close behind him. And they were given power over a fourth of the earth to kill by the sword, the famine, and plague. And the wild beasts of the earth. It's like these four horses. And why did they have to say it was given a crown? You know, that's when I started to be like, oh crap. You know what? I'm just going to tell all my friends and family to do everything. I don't even care if people think I'm crazy, because people already know I'm kind of nutty and I'm older now. And if everybody thinks I'm loony and I belong in a crazy bin, I don't even care. Whatever. I'm giving gloves to people that I know, and I don't care. I'm doing what I can. You know, that's all I can do. And then I'm praying and everything. You know, because. Oh, this was a really interesting article that I just found from the 30th of November, 2019. It was an actual comparison written by Aleska Vekovic. And she says the symbolism of disease and pestilence could still be the most plausible description. The aspect of conqueror is cognate with the sweeping of a major plague, the Great Plague, and the crown would symbolize the ultimate rule of death above all else. It's all doesn't seem very good, you know? So I don't mean to sound scary, and I have to admit when I find it upsetting to me as well, and it makes my anxiety go more because I was already worried for weeks now, but I decided that, you know, obviously, what else do? You just do what you know that you can and what's smart. So you keep yourself clean. Yeah, I'm wearing gloves to the Target and stuff like that because I have to go get a few things tomorrow morning. And, you know, but we're going to kind of just we've been staying at home. Even my teenager's been coming home and just being at the house instead of hanging out with his friends. We're just altering our life just a little bit, and it's not that big of a deal. Anybody could do it. It's not a big deal. You know, we should all have emergency supplies anyway. So if you get a bunch of emergency supplies, you're not wasting things, you know? So I just wanted to call, and I just wanted to share the correlations that I found, and I just wanted to say hi to all of your listeners because I watch all of their comments, and I can tell that I really like a lot of them, and they're really uplifting, good people. And I just am praying for all of us. And I'm praying that, you know, we have a good influence on the people in our lives, and that, you know, we know things for good reasons, and we care about the people in our lives. And I just praying for all of you for strength, and that you don't worry if people think you're nuts or something. If you do what you can to protect people, that's all that matters.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love you so much, and I thank you for calling in, and I just, you know, we gotta. Well, you know, I guess people don't get it, but we actually talk about this a lot outside, and we try to, you know, talk about what we can do, and if this happens, and if this happens, and this happens. So, I hope you come in. My sister. This is my sister. Well, I guess half sister. We had the same mom, different dad, but we were raised the same, and we have a lot. You know, she basically helped raise me as well too. I lost my mom and dad early, so so there was a lot of craziness that was going on, and I just I thank you for end up reaching out to me again today. There's just so much, and I hope that we can do some good. And you just recently figured out how to use your new phone. You upgraded from dumb phone to smartphone, so hopefully Liberty 333 is my sister. So if you see her, mods, make sure that she's VIP. Okay, All right. Well, I love you.
Oh, they've already been really nice. Oh yeah, thank you, mods. You guys are awesome, and Dex is awesome, of course. And yeah, you're my bro. I love you forever. And you know, I knew when you were little that you could see things that were important, and I've always been blessed. And we always knew we were meant to be sisters and brother. And I love you forever. So God bless you.
Oh, I love you too. All right, bye, and I'll talk to you later. Now, as my sister, she goes by Liberty333. Anybody touches them, then I will be the pale horse coming for you. If you say anything about my sister. Thanks. All right, next, let's see here. Hello, you were live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Hey, what's up, Adam? Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, no problem. And then Kevin, is that correct?
From California, that's me, buddy.
Oh, perfect. And then you have a video here that you linked. This is about the coronavirus and 5G. What's up with that?
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. It's not my video. It's just something I came across, but it's pretty cool. It's just a short 2-minute video. I don't know if you could play the audio, but basically it just links together everything that we've all been talking about the virus and everything, from Bill Gates to the show Pandemic on Netflix, where Bill Gates becomes the hero and he has the cure and everything like that. And then that's actually rolling out in real life. He actually just invested billions into Inovio, and I'm invested into a few different pharmaceutical companies, which have just been soaring over the last few days. So pretty crazy, but kind of a banger at the end of the video. They talk about how Wuhan was the first city that had 5G rolled out on Halloween a few months ago. And the scientists are all saying that 5G could have flu-like symptoms.
Well, but then how would it transfer? How would, you know?
I was wondering the exact same thing. Yeah.
No, I've heard this too, and
was,
I will definitely check out this video. I don't want to get dinged for anybody else's content, but it looks like it's on Instagram. So, but I would definitely, we'll link this and we'll end up having it so everybody can access this. But you know, the thing with that though is that's a weird thought. Or what if, just hypothetically throwing it out there, that somebody could actually control, or, you know what I mean? I just don't. I could see in the grand scheme of things that if a country would be extremely powerful if they had that power, like they could flip a switch and make people think that, right? You know, control those kind of symptoms.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I think a lot of us have probably been looking into these 5G towers for a long time, and it's probably a separate issue, you know, but a lot of people are saying the amount of power that are in those towers is probably capable of, who knows, mind control or crowd dispersal, all sorts of stuff like that. Whether they're connected, I don't know. Probably not, but either way, the first 2 minutes of that video before that crazy claim at the end is pretty cool. It just goes through all the information and how everything really links together. It's kind of like this guy who made the video. He put all the puzzle pieces together, and just the way he presented it, it's really cool. It just makes you think like, whoa, that is crazy, you know. But that's pretty much it. I don't want to take up too much time on the show. But
well, Kevin, I'm one of the most open-minded people anywhere. I love absorbing all kinds of new information, and I like hearing everybody else's theories, because I've actually changed my theory multiple times on certain things because I've heard somebody that had, you know, really good information. And I don't claim to be the know-all. I don't know everything. But between us, with the whole Foogle fam, you know, doing research and going down all the different holes, we know that, you know, when 100 of us all come with the same theory going independently, then hey, that might be something that you want to look at. So I appreciate you calling, and we'll link that for sure.
Awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, thanks for having me, Adam, and hope you guys have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye, Kevin. And first-time caller, don't make it your last. All right, and then we've got the next caller. I appreciate especially first-time callers. Thank you guys for calling in. Another first-time caller. We have David talking about military vehicle movement on I-65 northbound. David, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Howdy. Hi to the Marfoogle family, and God bless you all.
So you saw some unusual military movement. Is that correct?
That's correct. You got the video there. And what was so interesting about it was these are Desert Storm vehicles stripped of their armament, but none of them had license plates. They were being driven by civilian clothed people, and there's about 20 of them.
So, and could you say that one more time, David? Could you say that one more time, David? Sorry about that. I was having a sound issue here.
That could have been me. I've got a cheap phone here, but I couldn't call on my cell phone. I wanted to get that video to you. But I was traveling from 65 south of Louisville to north. I was coming home from church. And whenever I did, I saw 20 military vehicles I had passed along the way. And I was like, this is weird. So I had my wife initially pull up the camera and everything. And towards the end, you'll see where I had actually taken the camera from her. And you can actually see the people in these vehicles. And like I said, they're all civilian dressed. There was about 20 of them. And I followed them from South Louisville to North Louisville, crossing to the Indiana line.
Oh, weird. Let's see here. Yeah, this okay. Yeah, let's look at this. This is gonna cool. Is it okay if I plug in the sound and listen to this?
Well, if you don't mind, don't put it on there because my wife's voice is on there, and she told
That's
me
why
not
I asked.
to put them.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, I know.
There's
you
no
can
sound.
listen to it, just don't broadcast it. That's all.
No. That's totally fine. So basically, she's filming, and then you end up. Look at this. You can see through the back of the car. That's a tank or a hum. Yeah. Then okay. So those are Humvees.
No, these aren't tanks. These are actually Desert Storm support vehicles. Sorry about the graininess. I haven't cleaned my windows in a little while, but you'll get a closer view of them here in a minute.
No, that's all right. Yeah, and it's a 4-minute video here. Is it okay if we? Oh, I get you. Never mind.
That's what I said. You're about to see where it's coming up. And I also said, it's going to show the vehicles passing. And towards the end, I sat there and actually go up beside one of the vehicles, or a couple of the vehicles, so you can see what I'm talking about.
What would really freak me out is if they were wearing masks. I would probably.
Well, this was like 2 Sundays ago.
So this is before all of that kicked off.
Oh yeah, before all the coronavirus. I'm sorry, can I say that or not?
Yeah, you can. And actually, no, that would be during the 15th. That was when it all started. Huh. That's weird. MP4 files. Let's see here. That's pretty odd.
Keep going a little further. Like I said, whenever you see the camera go past me and off the side window, oh, come on.
It stopped on me, but I'm going to skip past that part and try to get to where you're talking about.
About halfway through it, you'll start seeing the vehicles. And like I said, towards the end, you'll see a close-up of a couple of them.
And where is this located? Is this unusual for your area?
This is south. Yeah, it's in my area, yes. This is South Louisville to North Louisville on I-65, and it goes straight over the Indiana toll bridge. That's what I was saying in the background, but like I said, my wife asked not to have her voice broadcasted, so.
No, that's totally fine.
I mean, look at the detail on that.
So, I guess I'm not an expert on the area, but is that I'm just wondering if what bases are there, if they're just moving stuff.
Well, there is Fort Knox there, but like I said, where you normally come up from Fort Knox Dixie Highway to 264, I caught this from 265 on up. And like I said, watch the video and you'll see where I actually get one of the drivers. I meant to do that, and they are all civilian clothing, and there was 20 of these type videos.
Let's see, I'm trying to get to the... So you're saying they're not uniformed, so that's why you were kind of weirded out.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking this is UN forces coming in to take a look at our area, I guess you'd say. And like I said, none of them were licensed. None of them were, the only markings you saw the letters, there was letters and numbers on them, and that's all there was on them. And they are disarmed as far as what was actually on there. But that just kind of freaked me out whenever I saw civilian clothing.
So I wonder, is somebody, I guarantee you will most likely say that they're auction or something like this, but that is pretty weird. Yeah, there's no military plates.
20 of them. That is very weird for somebody. I was thinking that too. I'm sitting here like, there's no way you've got 20 of these things going up north and going to auction. I mean, could be, but I mean, 20 vehicles, that's slim to none there.
Huh. Well, we'll definitely, what we'll do is we'll edit the sound out. I think that would be pretty easy for us to do, and then we'll put it up with no sound on our website so people can take a look at it and see what they think.
Like I said, you can listen to it. I don't care, because you can probably describe it better than I can, but you can hear my voice. I'm freaked out. I'm ex-Air Force, and I see this coming up. I get kind of freaked out about it, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I totally get what you're saying, David. Thank you for the video. Again, like I said, what we'll do is we'll take the sound out so your wife is not, her voice won't be heard.
I knew you all could.
We probably even, yeah. So we'll do that. Thank you so much for sending this to us.
You can probably get a better video out of it than I could. I mean, from what I've seen on the replay, you are showing it, but it's not got the whole wide view of it. So I'm not sure what happened there.
Huh. Well, we'll see what we can do with it, and then we might give you it looks like there might be a second.
You can give me a call, or you can use my email. I don't care.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. David, I appreciate you, and thank you so much for calling in. And I'd love for you to call in again. If you see anything weird like this, please let us know at marfooglenews.com and contact. All right.
Not a problem. God bless you and your family and all the big family that we've got.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good night, David. Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right. Again, we'll that probably won't be there instantly. But let's see. Snafu Snaps, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Not much. Just I was talking to some of the Foogle fam and crew members, and there was two things that I kind of wanted to bring to everyone's attention. And I kind of talked to Dex about this, and I thought it was important to bring up since you've been talking about the virus, and we also covered the patents and stuff a while back. I didn't know if you knew, but on a Lysol can. Because the coronavirus, as Dex was talking to me about, and it's true, it's like the flu. There's different strains of it. we've had it before. Now, people are like screaming Mandela. Some people are saying, no, it's always been there. And of course, that's how the Mandela effect works. But on the can of Lysol, Trucker JP and also J Stone 78 and a couple others were talking. We were all talking. And the back of the Lysol can, it says human coronavirus, which is just interesting in itself. And also, when I typed in, just doing research on this, coronavirus symbology, just in the Google, you would not believe what it brought up for me. I took screenshots. I didn't send them to anyone yet, but it has nothing but pretty crazy stuff. Like even the Australian fire pictures and stuff. And I'm just talking like if you just type coronavirus symbology and just click on the images, like it shows like the concentration camp type stuff. It shows like picture of Australia on fire, like all these weird current event type stuff going on, right? It's just very crazy to bring up.
Well, I never noticed that, but again, there's multiple kinds of coronas. As far it says SARS coronavirus too. I did not. Yeah. I actually never have really. I've never really looked at a bottle of Lysol before. I did not know that they had that. Actually.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Some people are screaming Mandela because some people are like, we've never seen corona human virus on there before, and then others are saying, no, it's always been there, and it's from the old corona that we've had back in the day, not this newer generation one. But I just thought it was very interesting. So did Trucker JP and Jay Stone, and we were just all talking, and I thought it was intriguing, that, well, we talked about patents, you have, and everyone else, and, if they came out with something, the mask and everything, that
one thing
obviously
is it doesn't say it does not say novel coronavirus, which is what this new one is. Novel is coming from an animal, but they did say from swine. They did say from everything else. That's odd. I never noticed that.
Right. And so I just thought it was something to, bring up, because it is a daily household product. But that just means that, the chemistry of it, of course, they know very well what this is and, implementation, everything, whatever it is, and how bad it actually is compared to what they're saying. And so, as I always say, the optics are high, but I just thought it was very interesting. And then when I typed in symbology, coronavirus symbology, and it was straight just in Google, and then clicked on the images, and I'm talking just like the craziest stuff, Adam, like, like current events, Australia on fire, images of that, images of the Cascadia type zone going thing. And now I don't know if it's just my algorithm and stuff, but I mean, I was just kind of, wow, like, that's kind of interesting. Why would they show Australia on fire? Why would they show all this other stuff? And I did take screenshots when I did Google on my phone. Of course, everyone's algorithm could be different.
Well, it is somewhat personalized and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I would love to see some of the stuff you ended up catching. And of course, if you guys have not checked out Snafu Snaps, he is closing in on 3,500 subscribers. Of course, he's
oh, wow, cool.
And I guess your next big one would be 4,000. So if you guys want to go over and check him out, he's always doing videos. And yeah, well, thank you, Snafu Snaps. You got the Snafu crew, and then of course we've got the Foogle fam in general.
Foogle fam and Mafia, man, for sure, brother.
All right, well, thank you for calling in, Snaps.
All right, well, all you guys be safe out there, and just be aware, and just keep pushing all the channels up and support Marfoogle TV as much as you guys can, as much as you can in the times we're in right now. So thank you.
I agree. Thank you so much, and you have a great night. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out. Okay, and then let's see here. All right. Man, oh man. Dex, I don't know if are you still there, Dex? I thought it disconnected, but
yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we're good.
Awesome.
And then let's see.
Yeah, so novel, as they say at Novell on the coronavirus is, I think it's part of Latin, meaning new, and they use that to distinguish this one as a new or infant new coronavirus as opposed to the old ones. I want to say there's like 5 or 6 that were human, and another larger handful, maybe another 12 that were animal based. So there's a lot of coronaviruses out there. The one that we're all worried about right now is, as you said, the novel coronavirus.
Novel. It sounds so beautiful when you say novel.
It means new.
I thought that was nueve. The novel I thought was the part of the, maybe it means two different things. And I'm all turned down. Maybe it means two different things. Either way, it absolutely crazy stuff. Now, I did notice from my side, it showed that we have some skipping and things like that. Did we even have, we are live, right? Did you have a way to look at that?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Yeah, everything's fine. I've been listening to you live the whole. Any major problems?
Okay. Well.
Yeah, we're good.
Just because I did see some concerning warnings on my end, it said several times that we had some skipping. Obviously, this is not going to have skip as if you're watching it over on YouTube. But we are live on DLive. Make sure to get in your chat and say what's up. Thank you, Dex, for doing that. Of course, now
absolutely.
It is not time for an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. It's where I say thank you to all the people that really matter in this show. Just to be real, it's you. So I do my little goofy thing. And then, of course, for you that want to stick around. And, stick around. You guys have a great night. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out. I got the Johnny 5 and the Lisa Mosley. Got that Rebecca Mayer. Hey, gotta go Slayer. Go back now. We contract the virus and we go running down with that SOS. We gotta glow. Hey, thank you to my very amazing sister for calling in. Thank you to my Mary mods. My Mary mods. Robin Hood and the Mary mods. Thank you, guys. Now I'm going to say hi and bye and thank you to the DLive and YouTube crew. Because you matter more than anything here. This is a viewer-powered channel. We've got a DLive fan. We've got the rest now. You just wanna go back and ride all the way down. Not to mention, we're going to be cracking this chest here in just a second. We still have 2,000 people watching. Thank you guys for sticking around. This, of course, is the Shoutry. What's up, Snafu Snaps, Belinda Brubaker, Casper Sparks, and KY Irish. Speaking my mind in Apache Puppy, Canada 21 and everybody's guppies. When it comes to the river of Jonah, not my childhood sky, thank you. Joseph, gotta get that down. With the crazy bitch and J&G Marion, the saxon is gonna be hanging out with Rixer Upper and my Vibron. Hey, Lady Savanas and the rest, coming back and now we'll take a rest. My lungs hurt from the pneumonia, and I don't know if it's gonna go away. Huh? Hey, Brendan Phoenix. Yo, what's up? Hey, Philly Billy, Hilly Billy, whatever you wanna go by is cool with me. Hey, Betty Sue, lovely stats, puree bird, a purdy bird, whatever you wanna call it. You know, Osiris Orion and Kelly Joe. Nuclear war coming back and barely poor, gotta come back. Gem B, Cokes, hippie dippy toes, eggplant pepper, you know those objects in the Bethany. Not my childhood sky, so cold gypsy. Gotta bring it back like the A. Gotta bring it back like the Shane X. Yes, with the little beats, no one. Got that Mr. Blue Alien 47, gotta bring it like the DDPM scram. Gotta bring it back and oh damn. Gotta bring that crazy back. Ladies of all the savannah. Oh, thank you guys for all coming. I appreciate you. I really do. This one is dedicated to Susan Donahue, longtime supporter, awesome woman, absolutely amazing. Get prepped up, get prayed up, and put on the full armor of God. Oh, you got the names, you got the place, you got the way we wanna live. Hey, you know that we've got to go, and you know that we've done it all day. A Rook Heba, hey Rook Heba, hey Rook Hager and the Cap 7 brother. Hey stormy weather, hey Cap 7, gonna go grab you once again. Hey Barbara 13 and Lady Green Eyes, got the hoof long gone, got the hoof long gone. Gonna bring it back with the Linda way. You gotta go back and you got to say, hey Jay, hey Jay, Jay Roach that is in the Ilea. Gotta get the Craig mumble land. Gotta bring it back like you got to go. Kevin Furman and the Professor Media. Gotta bring it back now. We stop the up on nose, coronavirus no. Yes, you gotta bring it back now. Yes, you gotta bring it like the Linda way, like the Linda way. Gotta turn on the life and love, and we gotta bring it back around, and you know that we are. Karma is here and you bring it right back around. Got that Cap 7 all the way down. Drake's mom, I can see you just fine. You're still here and you're here all the time, and we appreciate it. The sunshine, we gotta bring it back, and the funky, fresh on the grimy. I'm a monster, Rick's up, we're gonna be kicking it with a one more mom. With a one more mom. Just like Drake's mom, I see you, and the Kingsman report and the Belinda too. This goofy part is just my freestyle way of saying thank you and a crazy coyote. Thank you, nuclear war with the micro bars in the Tony 60. Got that G and the J Marion, gotta go and we know we all strong. We the Marfoogle family getting along. You got the bones with the 4 Z's. Gonna bring it like that, my disease. Gonna bring it back like Drake's Bone. Oh no, you gotta go in here. Hey, Rukegerber. Let's bring a little something. Where's this thing laying? Hey, CK Freddy and Paul Mike, K8, thank you. Able-bodied, glow white, Lynn 60, Sputsy Love, K Kathy, High Tech, and the rest of you. I love you. And Susie Cusey, thanks for figuring out how it works over here. You've got to bring the love that you've seen before. Now they've got the SARS and virus before. You got to bring all the love that we see. Bring it back down. Now you say hello to me. Now you say it to me. Now you say it to me like the friends are here. I know you are all just standing right near. Bro from OZ and Belinda Brubaker, Coffee Bear with the rest and the BOD. Hey, April Osborne 1, I hope you're having fun. Granny Cat, thanks for following me now. Hey, Peachy 1093, thanks for being right next to me with spots of love hanging down in the dips and outs. And you guys have been around when I got picked on and out. And they want to say that I'm not a nice guy, but I really don't care what they think of me. They can say what they want. We are doing something that nobody is doing. Groups all over the country preparing for whatever comes their way, their way, their way. Because eventually Cascadia will hit us, and so will a bunch of other. So let's all be prepared and love each other. You flung down. Rook Cabber. Thank you to my YouTube crew. I love you guys. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Billion, for the Ninja Kini. Dropping one on me. Like the J-Form tour. K Kenny and a Cannon or tour. 2-1, gotta bring it back now, son. Hey, Jana Jama and I'll bring it one. Hey, Liberty 333. Gotta bring it like the able-bodied did. Then you're supposed to get with me. Brennan Phoenix. It takes a long, long time. Coming soon. It will be online for free. Thank you guys for all supporting me through everything. Hopefully I don't get the PC police for me going an accent in there. Oh, yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Dr. Debo Cherry now. Boom, boom. Yeah, now. It's all about that boom, boom. It's all about that lazy tongue. The Rob Marks. The Sean Conley, the In the Kitchen, the Truth Alert, the Cathy DeGraff, Angela Moore, Llama Herder. Oh, the Llama Herder, bring it back. I said we get so funky, I bring it back like monkey. Hey, let's see tongue and no Rob Marks getting smoky. Ride and drive it down, hey GC want it now. I wanna bring it with the anyone scratching there. I wondering why the evacuees are being held in the quarantine. To bring the full 14 days is because the evacuees are like you and me. They are at least in a business women and the diplomats families. Everybody they see, they don't follow the symbols as the rest of us would because we always had to. Not to mention the fact that if there wasn't any one of us in Wuhan, they would have just left us here. Bring it back and why is no one talking about the elephant in the room? The Super Bowl spread like a wildfire. Bring it back and now you go. Yes, Oreo. I don't know, like it, we ain't eat it Oreo. I might have that virus on it like, hey, that Josh Jones says I agree. It's biblical and I am not worried. I got that armor of God and I scurry. Put the Lord 100,000 people die each year of the regular flu. Oh, and is anybody talking about the 100 million protesting in Hong Kong anymore? No. Cathy DeGraff gotta bring it in, you know, to react that same way no matter what happens. It's just another one that we let go. Angela Moore, remember all this FEMA coughing, CBS blocking on the map. Who is affected by the pandemic? Gonna bring it, now you get it. And I'm about to go back with the Heather Evans. This is not a virus like we've ever seen. In all caps, this is real. Please take precautions, please. Gotta seek all truth. There's so much bird of prophecy. All right, you guys. One more, and then we're out of here. Like, Sound of Tear? Sound of Tear? Jones gotta bring back now. Gotta get the phone, gotta get hit down. Let it mean now when you see it was predicted. Going right back, and we know we kicked it. You got the crazy granny that love. Who can get by and to get the law? Regina Pendleton. Regina Pendleton. Jane now says the back. Gotta say, Karen Chico. Gotta say. Walking down the street with Kelly Beaver, Tina and Rhiannon, and that's why I fever. They had the virus and Lisa Marie said there's Barry and the Jose. Gotta carry a Stess and a vodka. I gotta bring it just like that. JF and Lama Herder got it back, and the Jonathan Valdez gotta go, and he says Alice Nice, Shirley Graham, Crazy Granny, Battery Moore, and the Resident Raw, Nancy Holmes and that CJ Blair. Thank you so much now. Right in Vaughn and next day All right, you guys, you have an American night. American night? I mean, an amazing night. Deanne Lively, thank you. Jane Lewis, J.R. Irvin. Yep, Nancy Kerrigan. Hey, Valerie Moore and Lady Green Eyes, Jane Motter and Susie Q, thank you for being nice. And hey, Lord Andrew. That's your name? Lord Andrew? Deep Fried Foogle fan, it was nice to see you last night. And James Alton Farmer, thanks you for being right. Spencer O and Shirley Graham, Stephen Eiling, bringing it all the way to the ceiling, whatever you want to say, it's healing. Just like the amazing Jesus, his power is over you. All right, you guys, you have a wonderful night. If you want to join Discord, this is how you do it.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on when it happens? Go to marfooglenews.com and get Marfoogle alerts along with a Discord invitation where you can find your local state group and get together with the Foogle fam. You'll find fast friends where you'll share prep and intel, and there's even special groups for former and current military. But don't try and steal the valor of those who have really served. It won't go well for you. The Marfoogle fam is waiting for you.